Welcome back to Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. We are currently in the city of Seal, and we're gonna go check out the docks a little bit before we head into the main city. Is there somebody here to... Hey, Pablo! Wait, Pablo! Come back! I wish to talk to you! Hi! Hello! Pablo!
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves.
Magic. That's how I did that hocus pocus. Magic.
I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the Arch Shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Alright, well, it was nice talking to you, Pablo. I'm just gonna loot these crates here. Because I can. And it doesn't count as stealing. So... there's a lot of just empty downtime in these cities when you first get into them, and obviously that's how it is in any game you play. I'm just gonna see what's in this basket. Nothing. Oh dear, a rope. Well,
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
yep, that's a problem. We can deal with that later. We'll get spells later to help us deal with that. We keep going down the docks here. I don't have a reason to talk to these gentlemen just yet. Oh, hey, a repair hammer. It's actually really useful. I'm gonna send that to Leo because he knows he has a point in blacksmithing, so he can repair our armor, he can repair our gear so it doesn't break on us.
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh dear, it looks like these gentlemen weren't as lucky as our friend Pablo over here. So let's talk to them, see what they've got to say.
Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes, while we could do naught but look on. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than free men with nothing more to say than boo. These bleeding orcs, I can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here, slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves.
No.
That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd been around when our own barge went down in flames.
So about finding you guys a job.
With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings around here, that's for sure. Maybe you could keep an eye out, though.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. You poor guys. It's so rough to get a job in this economy. Oh. Too true, too true. So one thing I'm actually gonna do, real quick, I'm gonna turn Leo's hat off so you can see his... We're just gonna turn his hat off. So you can see his beautiful mane of snowy white hair there. He's blinding. So we're gonna run down to the other end of the docks and loot that. So one of the fun things in this game is there's a talent that lets you talk to animals, but I don't have that talent yet. I will soon, and when I get that talent, we will talk to all of the animals, and it will be great. Because talking to animals is maybe like one of the... It's one of the best things you can do in this game. It's so much fun. I discovered a new... What? Oh, pardon me. Just gonna... Some stuff here. Yeah, I could have started off the game with being able to talk to animals, but I chose the ability to avoid attacks of opportunity instead, because that's just awesome. That's just a great skill to have. So I just gotta take all the fish, because why not? No one's stopping me. Oh, hey, check that out. Here, Leo, have that. Carrot. Yeah, this is 80% of how I play the game. It's me running around, looting everything. But let's be honest, who doesn't do that? Who hasn't gone through Skyrim and just ignored boxes or bags to look through? You have all done it. I know you have. I do it too. Right, so we're gonna just finish looting the docks here. It takes a second. Not particularly speedy. Ooh. That's an interesting thing. I'm a little concerned as to why there were bombs in those baskets, but okay. I'm not complaining. Take that chicken foot. We just move this section here. Take those logs. That's a thing we can do. Wow, there's a bunch of really random stuff just here on the docks for no reason. Other than random loot generation. I'll take that arrow. Take that grenade. And another shiny knife. Here, Leo, have another shiny knife that we can sell to people for lots of money. Okay, now that we're done goofing around on the docks here, we're gonna head up into Seal proper and go talk to Captain Aureus. And I'm gonna click on the map for no reason and do a bunch of silly things. Oh my, that's a lot of dead bodies off to my left. But we'll get to that later. We'll get to that hatch later too. So... oh, one thing I did when I did character creation when I made Leo and Danny is I gave them both AI personalities, so if I'm in control of one, the other will make its own decision. I'm generally going to be in control of Danny, but sometimes the game will do weird things and I'll end up being Leo for a conversation or two. But Leo's preset was Rascal. I'm not really sure how that preset works exactly in terms of my decisions. I think he just kind of does whatever he wants. And Danny's is a free spirit, so again, I don't really know what these AI personalities do, but you can do different ones, play around. It makes playing the game by yourself a lot more interesting. And I don't know, just it's a fun thing to have. Hello, gentlemen. How are you? How are you? Just gonna walk into
Say,
square. Oh,
no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
easier. That's actually pretty easy to accomplish. You'd be surprised.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear.
Why don't you tell me about yourself, sir?
Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
You usually steal?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Well, I mean, it's just one fish. I mean, as long as you don't make this a habit after the fact, I think it's fine. So, you know, you can go ahead and take that fish. I'm not gonna say anything.
True enough. Without a bit of charity now and then, the world would be a far crueler place.
My word, Leo, did you just agree with me? I'm stunned.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No.
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid. I paid before.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Well, you know what? He definitely paid for that fish. Totally saw it.
Indeed he did not. He's a thief and should be punished.
Leo! Leo! You treacherous cad, you! Oh, jeez. Okay. You know, it's... don't be a stick in the mud, you terrible person.
This fish here landed himself in troubled waters. Don't drag us in too.
So... I'm gonna actually skip this one, because I do want to get to... I do want to progress some story, and talking to Aureus is gonna take a decent chunk of time. Because there's other people over there that I want to talk to. So, you know, we're just gonna skip, and I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope I win. Fudge! Leo, you cad!
Very well. Have it your way.
What kind of monster are you? You encouraged me to take the fish and then throw me to the wolves. Curse you!
Leo, you're a monster.
Come along quietly. You did the crime, sir, and the sentence is yours alone.
You're a monster, Leo. I can't believe you. Well, okay. That's, I guess that's life. That's our life now. So this is the main square, where all the merchants hang out. And I'll come by and do some inventory management after the fact. But if we go up here, this is the mayor's residence. We'll have to talk to him in a minute, but we're gonna just scooch our way over here. These wood piles. Oh, I feel like such a monster. I feel like such a monster. I mean, if I really wanted, I could reload, but I really don't want to. Because I already said I wasn't gonna fudge this. I was gonna take it as it came. Have a different experience. So we're gonna come back and talk to her in a minute. But we're gonna go talk to Aureus first.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real.
So this is the headquarters for the Legion, so if we go in here and talk to this strapping gentleman by the window. This is Captain Aureus.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear?
So yeah, he's kind of a tool. But not a terrible person.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into dribbling hordes of their own misshapen number.
You never know, they could just eat them. Yeah, they could totally do that. You don't necessarily have to turn them into the undead.
Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot.
To be fair, when a politician does die, it is kind of a big deal. It's just generally true.
Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary.
So, side note, whenever somebody says source in this game, it sounds like they're saying sauce to me. So it's like he's calling me a sauce hunter. Like some traveling gourmet? What is this?
The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
Why don't we talk about the suspect first before I leave?
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
First of all, I never claimed anything, so rude. And yeah, so this is why he's not a terrible person. He's not willing to just condemn this woman based on hearsay and circumstantial evidence. If you bring him actual evidence, he will. He's a pretty decent guy. Still a tool.
If you must.
So why don't you tell me a little more about the undead problem you guys have?
Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all.
I'm sorry. Just the idea of being besieged by kittens? That is a wonderful mental image. I'm just imagining like a bunch of kittens with like little helmets. Oh, it's adorable. Oh, that's adorable. So how are you enjoying Cecile, friendo?
How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Cecile stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Cecile.
But you have to admit, clam chowder's great. Tell me about the Legion. Tell me a little bit more about the boys in red.
We are the pride of Riverlon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No, we protect the civilized from the barbaric, and we do so impeccably.
Sure, that's why you've been stuck here 2 years.
I'd say they are looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion.
What do you know about cultists?
Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
True though that may be. Don't judge my boy. Don't judge Arhu. He's a wonderful person. Okay, so anyway, we've talked to Aureus now, and we have permission to go check out the crime scene. If we go upstairs, off that way, then we can go see Arhu. And Arhu's upstairs. We don't need to talk to him, mostly because I don't need to buy anything from him.
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she...
Of course, we will take time, and I'm going to talk to this wonderful lady here.
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes, if ever there was one.
Selenia here is going to give us a quest that's going to stretch across the whole act. So, it's kind of nice to pick it up early and work your way through.
I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well.
Moi?
We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success. Lieutenant Selenia at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second-in-command, but rest assured I am a lot more kindly inclined towards source hunters than he is. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition and even rivalry between our orders, but I, for one, have no intention of looking a gift horse in the mouth. And that is exactly what your presence in Cecile is, source hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Sicil after all. No longer do I feel that way, though. Too many of my soldiers have fallen. The dead must be put down without mercy, if we can.
See, why couldn't this lady be in charge? She seems like a reasonable person.
The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death.
Okay, so, fun story. When I first played this game, many years ago. Yeah, many years ago. It was, I did this entire area backwards. I started at the boss battle for this act and worked my way back. So, cool thing, I beat the boss at like level 6, so it's totally possible to do it. But also, I did the area backwards. And I'm not the only one. My older sister also played this game. She's also played this game, yeah. And she did the area backwards too. It's really funny. So, tell me a little bit about the Legion.
I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you.
First, I'm going to talk to her about these expeditions, and then we can talk to her about the Philip and his buddies, who we talked to on the docks. So, tell me about these expeditions.
If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 expeditions were launched to do just that. But so far, none of their participants have returned. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the old church. Places fraught with danger all.
Okay, so tell me about the lighthouse.
There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. No man has gone there in a decade, and yet a light shines from its pinnacle every night. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall tales. I fear for their safety. There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As good a place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say? A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be of use to them. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicilians razed it, and built a church for the 7 instead, supposedly to symbolize the victory of the gods over evil sorcery. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition.
Well, that's not suspicious at all. So, yeah, we're gonna ask her about maybe taking these gentlemen on in the Boys in Red.
It's very sweet of you that you are trying to get these men a job, but I'm afraid they're not Legion material. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them, but even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't stand a chance against the undead, and I don't want any more blood on my hands.
Perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable. Thank you very much. See, I really like her. Why isn't she in charge? Why isn't she in charge? She doesn't yell at people. All Orius does is yell at people. And complain about fish. Gee, wow. Whoever sent the Legion out here really did not pick their officers well. Or, I don't know. I don't know how to say that properly, but you get what I mean. So, tell me about this pact you made with the Legionnaires.
So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many Legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back from a mission behind enemy lines. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home.
Okay, so we learned a lot from Selenia. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way back to the inn. Go check out the crime scene. Oh, cool. So this is the way I came in. So the inn is this building here on our left. So we're gonna Oh, hey, it's a chicken. Hello, chicken. Oh, it's a rooster. But what is a rooster but a male chicken? Oh, that was the mayor's house, not right. This is the inn over here. This is the inn. Plague grenade, we'll take that. Let's loot some crates real quick. Another bomb. A loaf of bread. Oh, and some cloth scraps. Neat. Alright, so we're gonna go head over here to the inn.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight.
Well, I am a source hunter. Leo, he's my friend. He's also a source hunter.
No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot, so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed.
And you would be...
Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I changed them.
You're not worried about the undead?
They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no problems. They see opportunities. An enterprising spirit can wrench riches from cold dead rocks. Or from cold dead, full stop. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked inside of each and every one of us. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you like adventure?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, yeah, of course I do.
Some could not because they are professionals, not adventuring daydreamers.
Leo, you are no fun.
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voice their opinions with vigor when they differ. What else could I expect from mighty source hunters? Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
Well, I certainly wouldn't mind that, but Danny's a more spiritual sort. She doesn't need riches to be happy.
Really? I wouldn't mind earning an extra penny here and there.
That's because you're a dick, Leo.
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Still, if a matter is divisive, it is divisive mainly because it is alluring. And riches are so very alluring. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your own shots? Be your own boss?
Yeah, no, I would certainly enjoy being my own boss.
Better to be served than to serve. I concur.
Well, gee, I'm glad we can agree on something.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream. Enact the change you deserve. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna take off. We'll come back and talk to Mendius later. He'll be part of a quest we do later. We're just gonna head in and check out the crime scene. And I'm sure you've noticed there's this lady in rather familiar garb wandering around. This is Medora.
I am a duke.
And Medora is the best worst companion you will ever have. So we're gonna quick stop and talk to her real quick. So,
Back,
hey Medora.
Back or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's heavier than a dodecahedron these days.
So that was a little weird, the barmaid being able to tend the fire through your body, but okie dokie.
I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him.
So who are you, my dear wonderful Medora?
You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side.
Oh, I didn't know about another source hunter being assigned here.
Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you.
I really enjoyed that she says comrade instead of partner. Because, I don't know, it's just funny coming out of her. It's just fun. I love her. She's a fun character.
See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again.
It really does sound like sauce every time you say it.
I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicile. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup.
So how did you escape?
By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicile hinterlands.
Wow, you can run a long ways without getting tired. And so could that orc. What's your plan?
Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicile for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
So what evidence have you found so far?
More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thaleron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow.
I don't know if Arhu knows that he's being called a feline menace, but I friggin' adore it. But we're gonna ask her about some other folks first.
Now don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his own nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source, artifact, or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cecile, I don't have the authority to interrogate him. Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker than splints and tonics. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead? Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say.
So, feline menace.
You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural.
So Medora just hates cats. Good to know. Yeah, so your proposition is you help us here and we take you home?
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
It really does sound like they're saying sauce. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Medora.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots.
Okay. Well, that happened. Normally what happens is your companion will tell you, no, we can't take another person on. Because we're only level 2, I think. Yeah, we're only level 2. And Medora is technically a level 3 companion. So generally you're not supposed to be able to get a companion until you're level 3, but I guess Medora's our friend now. So we're just gonna go ahead and check out this crime scene here with our new friend.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Well, it did.
Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
Yep, even the Legion knows that he's a tool. Good to know. So we're gonna go ahead and open this door, and ooh, look, a shiny blue stone. Let's check that out.
Source was in play here, all right. That doesn't solve the mystery.
Whoops. Well, this is new.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow, it sent us flying into the stars.
Yeah, and now we're in this mysterious, magical place. And we'll find out where exactly it sent us next time, because I have to actually cut it here and start getting ready to go somewhere. But thanks for watching, and we'll pick this up in the next one.